Good morning, this is Donna Helms, and this is part of our story. If you look at our Christian lives, you can sum it up as a period of demolition and then a period of reconstruction. Now, for a lot of you who know us, you're thinking, that sounds a little strange. Even though me and Donna grew up states apart from each other, we had a very similar upbringing. We both grew up in Christian homes that attended very large independent Baptist churches. Our parents were very active in the church and took leadership roles in the church. We both went to Christian schools and graduated from Christian schools. We were there every time the door was open because that's just what you were supposed to do. We had Bible during school, we had Bible at home, and we had Bible on Wednesdays and Sunday nights because that's what we were supposed to do. We both graduated from Christian school and went to Christian college. Because once again, that's just what we were supposed to do. After graduating from Christian college, we got married and I went to work for a staff of the church that I attended growing up. And I really thought this is what God wanted us to do. We thought we had all the answers. We were doing everything that we were told to do. Life was good for us. God blessed us with 2 children, Zach and Deanna. And after a couple years, I decided working for the church full-time wasn't what God wanted me to do, so I became an air traffic controller. We moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and we were very active in the church there. We were raising our kids to be Christian kids. We were going to church. We were doing everything we thought we were supposed to be doing that we learned our whole lives. And God, we felt, was blessing us. But that all changed one day. One Saturday afternoon, our son Zach was struck by a car out front of the house. It was a very, very, very bad day. And we knew things were not going to be good. Even driving to the hospital that afternoon, Donna looked at me and says, no matter what happens, we've got to keep our marriage together. We were in total shock and dismay. He later passed away that night at another hospital. Everything we thought we knew was demolished in one short afternoon. Everything we had learned, everything we had memorized, all of our upbringing didn't mean anything to us. These are very dark days for us.
During this time, obviously as a mom, they were bad days. They weren't dark days, they were black days. I went through incredible anger, depression, hopelessness. I wanted to run away from anything that was relating to my life. I wanted to run as far and as fast as I could get away. I did run away from God. I became disillusioned because what I had always believed, that faith that I always had, now was totally worthless. It didn't carry me a moment. God knew that my faith was weak. He didn't betray me. He knew that my faith was weak, and He allowed these things into my life for reasons. Even though I didn't want anything to do with God, we quit going to church, quit praying, started to believe that maybe He made mistakes, maybe He wasn't in control as I always had thought. He still was working in my life. We miraculously had 2 other children. A whole nother story, but total miracles. And in that, I was thankful for the children, but I didn't want to give God credit for that. During this time, I was still very angry, and this is years went by. We were able to move to Florence, which ironically is where our son was buried. That's again another story. And God was working in my heart. I decided that I needed some type of personal relationship with Him, and I didn't even know how to do that. All that upbringing and all those good things in my life, and I didn't even know how to have a personal relationship with Him. I prayed and asked for God to send me something that would help me get started, and it's amazing that a lady in our church dropped off a devotional book that really got me on the right road. During this time, and I would say this is the reconstruction phase of our life, years after our son was killed, we went into another phase that was dark. Fuller was diagnosed with colon cancer. A year and a half later, I have a brain tumor, have to have immediate surgery. Very shortly after that, melanoma on my part, need again surgery, and just lots of health issues that we never would have known we were going to encounter. We were blessed with perfect lives, perfect health up until this time. I was so moved by the things in my life, and I wanted that deeper relationship with God. And He allowed Sandhurst to be an integral part of this reconstruction phase in our life. We met people that was laying the groundwork that God wanted to do in our hearts. I went from believing pat answers to now believing God answers. And they were things that I truly believed, not things I had been told to believe.
We're still on this journey, and I call it a journey. And when I look back over it, it makes sense. God was preparing us for other things. See, God couldn't use us the way we were because we didn't have any depth in our relationship. We really didn't have a belief. Oh, we were saved, there was no doubt about it, but that was about all we had. And God has put us on this fabulous journey. As we've gone through all these problems and issues and trials, God has been more than faithful. And it's hard to say this, but I wouldn't trade Him for anything in the world, knowing where we're at today. Because God has been good to us. God has blessed us in so many ways. And we're excited about the journey we're on. No, we haven't had our list of problems that's no longer going to happen anymore. We're not immune from having problems anymore because I really don't believe that. We haven't had our share. We've had what God has wanted us to have so that He could show Himself to us. And we're excited about where we're going. We don't know what the future holds for us, but we're excited about it because God's in charge of it. And even this morning when I was thinking about what we were going to say, I read something that was sent, actually it was sent to Donna on the internet, and I want to finish by reading this. Got to put my old man glasses on. And I thought this was very good. We were made by God and for God. Until you figure that out, life isn't going to make sense. Life is a series of problems. Either you're in one now, or you're coming out of one, or you're getting ready for another one. The reason for this is God is more interested in your character than in your comfort. God is more interested in making your life holy than He is making your life happy. We can be reasonably happy here on earth, but that's not the goal of life. The goal is to grow in character, in Christ's likeness. And we're thankful God has shown this to us, and we're excited about what God has for us.